Guys, has your spouse or significant other been talking to you about how you're walking around like an old man? You know, the head forward, the hump in your back. Maybe your friends have started to discuss it as well. As they see you over the years, they notice that your back is humping and your head is going forward. Think that's about your age? I'm going to surprise you because today there's 3 reasons why those things happen to you in your life, and none of it has to do with your age. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Muscle Repair Shop. My name is Butch Phelps. I'm a functional massage therapist, and today we're going to talk about the 3 reasons why you can't stand up straight. Now, for many of you, you believe that as you get older, this is an aging process, and I'm here to tell you, as someone who has studied aging sciences, that just ain't true. Now, I know that's bad English, but the key to this here is understanding that aging process has little to do with you walking with a hump back or your head leaning way out in front of your chest. What that does for you is several things. Number one, it increases the compression on your spine. It affects the shoulders, giving you a higher risk of shoulder injuries like a rotator cuff injury or damage to the joint. It does serious damage to the hips as the torso of your body is leaning forward. And the thing you want to think about is when your head is out in front of your chest, that weight increases 10 pounds per inch that your head is in front of your chest. So if your head is sticking out 2 inches in front of your chest, that's putting 20 more pounds of pressure on your spine. So that can lead to things like pinched nerves, bulging disc, herniated disc, damage to the bones. On top of that, it causes the rib cage to tilt slightly forward, which can lead to respiratory issues or digestive issues as well. Plus, on the lower end of the body, as your head leans forward, your weight shifts from your heels to your toes. Now, here's an easy way to see what I'm talking about. Stand up, be standing on where your weight is on your heels here. Now, slightly lean forward, and as you slightly lean forward, feel how the weight in your feet goes from your heel out to your toes. And so what happens when you're walking with head forward posture is the balls of your feet out towards your toes is actually supporting your weight. Now, this will cause tightness in the shins on the front of the lower leg and can set off things like knee pain. It can also tighten the calves and the lower part of the leg on the backside, which can set off things like plantar fasciitis and pain behind the knee. So as you can see, walking around with that posture can create a multitude of problems throughout the body. But make no mistake about it, this is not an aging problem. This happens even to people in their 30s and their 40s, sometimes even in their 20s. And the reason for that is 99% of what we do, we work on everything out in front of us. So as you can see, my chest is rounded forward, my body's leaning forward, my head is leaning forward. So that starts to tighten the muscles in the outside of the chest, tighten the muscles on the front of the neck. Now, as we get older, most older people, especially guys in my age group, love to sit in their recliners. And as they sit in their recliners, they're going to actually tighten these muscles here and tighten the muscles here. Even if you have a recliner that has a headrest that goes forward, you're still tightening the muscles on the front of the neck. So when you stand up, you're going to lean forward like some feeble old man. That's not about your age. That is strictly about what you do. The most surprising thing that most people don't realize is that the shoes that you wear can contribute to this just as much. And many times I'll watch people in their 20s and even their 30s walk with shoes, whether they be athletic shoes or dress shoes, that have thick soles, arch supports, heel supports. And what happens is that it prevents the ankle itself from bending, especially the thick soles. And so when the ankle cannot bend, the person will lead with their nose for momentum to walk forward. So the shoes can even contribute to that. We've been given this false narrative that our feet has to have all this support and comfort, and in reality, that's just not true. I found in my life. I am 63 years old and I walk around on hard surfaces barefoot all the time with no foot pain at all. And I have many clients who do the same thing. when you can do that and build the muscles in your feet and in your lower legs, A, you're going to improve your balance, and B, you're going to improve your posture. So chiropractors will talk to you about it all the time, about the importance of your posture, and they're exactly correct. However, if you're spending money seeing a chiropractor who's trying to keep your posture straight, and you're walking around in shoes that are not good for you or habits that are not good for you, all you're doing is negating that doctor's work. And so what we want to do is not negate the work from your chiropractor, but we want to allow the muscles to open up, be more flexible, be stronger, so that the body can hold itself up straight, and that's going to give you less problems down the road in your life. Even if you're 20 years old today, this is something that you need to start now. So let's dive into it. What are the 3 reasons that cause head forward posture, humpback, where you can't stand up straight? And the number 1 reason is we are sitting way too much. Way too much. And it's like we get up in the morning and we're sitting looking on our phones, working on our computers, and then we go get in our car and we're sitting on our way to work, and then we get into the office and we're sitting all day. Well, in those positions, you see, again, you're tightening the outside chest muscles, you're tightening the front of the neck, but you're also tightening the front of your hips, which are called the hip flexors. You're tightening the quads, which are the front of the thighs, and you're tightening your calves. So when you try to stand up straight, because those series of muscles have all tightened, your shoulders round in, which forces the head forward, the hip flexors on the front of your hips are tight, and when that happens, that tilts the pelvis forward, and then the quadriceps on the front of the thighs are tight. That continues to tilt the pelvis forward, and as you do that, the whole torso starts to lean forward. And then when you try to start walking, the calf muscles are tight, the body weight is shifting forward so that you can't bend your ankles, and you're leading with your nose. It's causing that whole effect from your head all the way down to your toes. So the sitting too much is a major epidemic. Now I know you've heard some people talk sitting is the new smoking, but the reality is that we were designed to move. So if you can get a stand-up desk where you can stand up part of the day, sit part of the day, take breaks at lunchtime, go for a walk, even if it's around the building, inside the building or outside of the building, do that to keep moving. Choose to take the stairs if possible versus elevators or escalators. Choose to park away from the front door of a store and walk further into the store versus parking as close as you can and not getting the exercise that you need to get there. So there's many, many things you can do every day that can reverse this trend. Practice learning how to get up and down off the floor. Most people in America just cannot do that, and what a shame. We should be able to do that really at any age of our lives if we have the strength and the flexibility that we can get up off the floor and do that. Number 2 reason, we have weak muscles. Again, because we're sitting so much, we're not going out and doing the things that build strength. And now, I know for some of you, the first thought is, well, I need to go to a gym. And that's okay. But if it doesn't work for you, you can certainly do other things. Now, today, in our world today, we have somebody that takes care of our lawns. In fact, most neighborhoods won't let you take care of your lawn. You have somebody who takes care of your pool. You have somebody who washes your car. You have somebody who cleans your house. In some cases, you have somebody who cooks your food. The thing is the less we do, the less we can do. And so volunteering yourself to do things where it requires you to pick something up, it requires you to sweat, it requires you to put in some effort. When you do that, you're actually building muscle to do that. You don't have to go to a gym to build muscle. There are many things that I can show you that you can do right at home that you can actually build your strength and never touch a weight in your life. You could use rubber bands at home. You could use water weights in a pool. I mean, there's many, many things that you can do here that you can build muscle, but the objective here is to get you moving, getting the muscles used to picking up your own body weight. The sad part is for many people who are aging, they don't even have the strength to pick their own body weight up to get out of a chair. The other day I met a gentleman who was 86 years old, and it was refreshing to see that he could with no effort stand up out of a chair without using his hands. And so it's really nice to see that some people get that. And that's where you want to be. You don't have to do acrobatics or anything crazy, but that's where you want to be. Number 3, emotional control. Now, you've heard me many times in my other videos talk about that muscles are more emotional than they are physical. And the idea here is that when you think about how the brain controls the tension of your muscles, think about how tight your muscles are when you're angry with somebody, or how weak they feel when you're sad or depressed, versus how great they feel when you're having a fabulous day and everything is working well and you're hanging with your friends having a good time. You see, the brain and your emotions control that tension in your body. So picture in your mind somebody who has had a terrible day, they're sad, they're walking down the sidewalk. Do you expect to see that person with their shoulders rounded and drooped in, or do you expect to see that person with their shoulders back, head held high, and walking down the street at a fast pace? That change in emotion can literally affect every muscle in your body. And so understanding how to learn to breathe and to relax the body through breathing techniques, learning how to do other relaxation techniques like meditation, or just going for the walk in a park and sitting and watching some ducks, or walking along and just seeing the trees, can be very relaxing for you and help you to get, as I always like to say, get out of your head and into your body. Feel what the wind feels like hitting your body, or how the wind hits your clothes on a shirt or a dress is waving around your skin. Feel how that feels and slow down the thoughts in your head, because having thoughts that's just running 100 miles an hour in your head is only going to tense up your muscles and cause you physiological problems down the road. So your psychology has a huge effect on your physiology. And the reason for that is that it can speed up your breathing, or speed up your heart rate. It can create shallow breathing techniques. It can cause the muscles to get tighter, which causes the rib cage to tilt, which can affect your ability to digest food properly. It can pinch nerves because the muscles get tight. And when you do that, it creates pain, which now causes you to hold even tighter because of the pain. So as you can see, wherever your psychology is, it's going to contribute to your physiology. Now, there are certain things that you can do to combat all those things. And if we start with the emotional side of it, learning how to just lay in your bed, sit in a chair, walk along on a path. If you're outside walking, really work hard at feeling the wind coming across your skin. And what can make it easier, again, like I said earlier, feel the shirt waving as it's hitting your skin. Feel the dress waving as it's hitting your skin. Or your hair blowing in the wind if you happen to have hair to do that. If not, how does it feel as it's hitting the skin on your scalp as well? Feel the sun touching your face, your arms. Feel the warmth that comes from that. And by focusing on little things like that, it can get you to stop thinking about all the thoughts running through your head throughout the day. And that's going to cause the body to just relax. If you're at home, sitting in a chair, laying back in your bed, just feel your fingers moving, just moving one finger at a time. Feel your toes moving. Feel your breath. And just focus on, how does my body feel? Not what happened an hour ago, not what I've got to do an hour from now, but just in the moment. How does my body feel just in this moment? And as you start to relax, what you'll see is that those thoughts in your head will begin to slow down, and now the muscles in your body will start to relax. When you're talking about weak muscles, as I talked about before, I mean, you could pick up a jug of water, you could pick up books and you start moving the books. As you advance on, you could do things like push-ups, and you could do things like pull-ups. There's many things you can do. Walking in place, lifting your knees up higher. If you're worried about a balance issue, stand next to a counter in your kitchen so that you can hold on to the counter, stand on one foot, but do it barefoot. And as you're standing there on the one foot, feel the muscles in your feet, how they're just wavering from one side to the other. front to back, side to side, and feel how it's working its way up into your calves and shins to make that balance happen. And what you'll learn from that is that your balance really works from the knee down. And then as you feel comfortable, slowly take your fingers off of the counter and stand there and see how long. I don't care if it's count to 3, count to 4, count to 10, it doesn't matter. But see how long you can stand there without having to touch the counter again. You can keep your hand close enough if you're worried about falling that you can quickly grab onto the counter. But count there and see, and then whatever you start out with, that's your baseline. And then each day do that a couple times a day, and before you know it, you'll double, triple, and quadruple the amount of time that you can stand there on one foot, regardless of your age. It doesn't matter. When you're walking, practice walking in your house barefoot, and as you take steps, feel your foot hitting the ground. And the thing is that as you start to get into feeling your body as you're making those movements, not only are you building strength and stamina in your muscles, but you're relaxing your mind because you're focused on your foot, you're focused on your hips, you're focused on your back. You're not focused on who did you wrong earlier or what you got to do later, whatever the case may be. And when it comes to sitting, again, you can go to a stand-up desk. If you can't get the stand-up desk, then about every hour, stand up and walk around a little bit. Even if it's in your office, walk around a little bit. As you're walking, lift your knees higher. Lift your arms, raise your arms up and down as you're moving around. But the key is that as you are moving like that, you're lubricating the joints, you're lubricating the disc in your back. This can go a long ways in helping you start to stand up straighter. Now, there are special stretches you can do with that, and I'll put those into the description down below that you can go and follow. But getting in the doorway with your elbow here on the doorway can stretch out the chest here, and you can start to rotate your body to the left away from your elbow, and you can start to stretch this out. And I'll put those links in the description so you can find that. The second one I would do, and this one I would do especially if you work in an office, I would do at least every hour and every hour and a half. Take your chin, let it rest in the palm of your hand, and then lift your head up, stretching the muscles out here on the front of your neck. Again, I will put that link down in the description for the neck flex or neck extension. The last one, which is the third one, is how to stretch your calves. Now, I've shown this in other videos, so I'll continue to keep adding them because you may not have seen those, but you're welcome to go back and see them again. But do the calf stretch. Get yourself a rope or a yoga strap that's 6 or 8 feet long. Make sure it's not stretchy, that it's not elastic. Elastic bands are designed for strength training, not stretching. And then get on the floor if you can. Put your hips and back against the wall, one leg straight out in front of you. And you're going to put the strap or the rope around the ball of your foot. And you're going to pull the toes back to you 10 times. But now when you're pulling back to you, just like when you're doing this stretch here as well, always breathe out as you're stretching the muscle. Hold it for 5 seconds and then release it, but then repeat 10 times, because what you're doing is teaching the brain that this is a safe movement. The second part of the calf stretch is now you're going to rotate the leg where the foot goes outward, and you'll do the same stretch again, but you're stretching now the calf muscle on the inside. And then once you do that 10, rotate the leg inward and stretch the calf muscle on the outside. That's going to help you in rotation in your body. These are 3 main things that can quickly help you stand up straighter with no effort. Now, I know plenty of people will say to you, well, we'll strengthen your back and you can pull your shoulders back, or you can wear a strap and pull your shoulders back. But until you loosen the muscles here, that's a temporary fix at best. So if this has helped you, please like and subscribe down below, ring the bell, leave comments, ask me all the questions that you want, because my goal here is to help you improve your body, and you have the knowledge. Not have to go someplace else, but you have the knowledge to fix yourself, which is a cool thing. And if you have friends, please share it with your friends. We've hit over 1,000 subscribers, and I'm excited about that, and I'm hoping we can continue to reach more and more people, because if I can put the control back into your hands, you can stop so many things that are happening to your body every day. Now, an update on my book. I've got a book that I'm working on. I hope it's going to be coming out in mid-2024. It's going to talk about these things. It's like a manual for the human body, and we'll get into what is the stretch and release technique, how did it come about, how does it help you, and so forth. And then on the back half of the book, I've broken up into chapters different body parts, so that as you get the book, you see, you can go to the back, you can go to the knee, you can go to the neck, and it will help you then to quickly figure out how to help yourself using the stretch and release technique. And I'll keep you posted on it. Hopefully in early 2024, we'll have a pre-sale on the book, so you can have your book ready as soon as it comes out. It'll be delivered to you. And for now, see ya.